have been pretty confident that this was going to go through. So what is the disconnect between Errol Davis and the school board?
I don't think there's a disconnect with the Errol Davis School Board.
I think there is. If he thought it was going through and you all did not vote for it, that is a disconnect.
When you look at the specific issue and the time frame of the issue, the board did not have any notice or consultation around the position being open or how the position being filled would be evaluated and who would be put into that position. It was an existing position where there was someone involved in that, someone already in that position. We have proper protocols to go through to select professionals for various positions in the school system. That is the way we ensure that we get the best person for the specific position. And so from our perspective as a board, all we can do is ask the protocol be followed so that when we have a recommendation in front of us, we are confident the best person for that specific position was in fact recommended for that position vis-a-vis whoever else may have been applying. This position will be posted. If Dr. Taylor decides to vie for the commission position and is recommended by the superintendent, then this Board of Education will take up that recommendation.
You put us through the ringer last year when you got rid of Mark Migrant. We all buckled up our sleeves and we tried to stick with it and we tried to stand behind Miss Dr. Taylor. I don't understand it. And I really think there's something else going on. This is not because he is a seasoned educator. He has been a principal before. He knows about invoices being slow. He knows about personnel problems. There is something else going on that you are not telling us. Thank you.
And so I need to understand what is the path forward. In fact, and everyone else as well. But again, I'm really concerned about my 12th grader because last year, basically just confusion, chaos. And before you start rolling out a plan, sit down in a room and come up with a true plan. And you probably need to have some of the local school district, they need to be in that as well. Because right now you guys are just making major mistakes and you are destroying lives. You're impacting them. What type of example are you setting for the children? What example are you setting? You're not.
Why did you and the other board members see it fit to second guess the professional opinion of Mr. Smith and Mr. Davis? Mr. Davis has been around. He knows what talent he has. You posted, I'm pretty sure, for Tony Burke's position. We know what candidates came forth at that point. We know what the talent pool is. If Mr. Smith and Mr. Davis thought Dr. Taylor was a good candidate for that position, why is the board second guessing that and not getting behind it so we can get on with work?
Like, you know, I am chairman of the board, but I am just one of 9 votes.
Just for point of clarification.
Excuse me, Mike, excuse me. I will not stand here to have somebody tell me to shut up. Now, if you want to cheer and all that and jeer, that's fine. But I'm not going to stand here to have people tell me to shut up. Okay?
I'm sorry. I did.
I know you're not. I just want to make that
sorry. You were mentioning you're one of 9 votes.
Yes, I said I am one of 9 votes. We had deliberations around the process, around the person, and around where we were trying to get to from a district perspective inside of our executive director role. I am a supporter of and have been a supporter of Dr. Taylor and his abilities to move the school forward. We've seen that. In my opinion, the school has come a long way under his leadership. I believe his ideas, his thoughts could be helpful throughout the school system. I expressed that to Dr. Taylor on Friday night when I saw him. I've expressed that to Mr. Smith, to Mr. Davis, to my colleagues. In going through this process, as we sat there at the dais today, not one of the other board members was willing to second the motion. Therefore, it indicated to me that we did not have support on the board to take a vote on this issue. Therefore, we did not.
Okay, for point of clarification, in order to override the superintendent's recommendation, it requires a 75% majority of the board. There were 8 members there, so you needed 3 votes in favor of this for it to pass. So if you'd have voted for it, and Nancy had voted for it, and Courtney had voted for it, it would have passed. And the 3 of you worked over this weekend, side by side with us, supposedly with the same aim and the same goal of retaining Dr. Taylor. So why didn't the 3 of you cast those votes and or lead your other board members, in your case as the chair, to help arrive at an understanding of the benefits as they were articulated by Mr. Smith and by Mr. Davis?
I cannot make a colleague do anything. All I can do is indicate what my opinion is, what my views are around a specific issue. I'm not going to speak for what my other board members would or would not do. We did not take a vote on this issue. I can tell you I am a supporter of Dr. Taylor. I hope that he can stay in the district in some position, and I would support that.
So yes, it's 3/4, and I've talked to you. I've shared my position with a number of folks from the community. The way the quorum rules work is 3/4 of the people present, and so there were only 8 members present. And so, for me personally, I did not want the board to take a vote, which I would have thought, which in my opinion, lacked the support from my colleagues to approve. And so I thought it better to not take the vote at all and leave the door open for options, as we can explore a variety of what those options look like. I didn't want the board to close the door on any of our options. And so the support, in my opinion, was not there to do that today. And in fact, our colleagues make that emphatically clear that for whatever reason, their support was not there. I too have shared with you and with members of this audience and have worked to make sure that Dr. Taylor is in this district or remains in this district. I've shared my sentiments with Dr. Taylor and the superintendent after our board meeting today. We spoke on the phone today. And I will continue to work to make sure that he remains inside of the school district.
It would have required 5 votes to overturn Mr. Davis's recommendation. That would have been 75% of the 8 people present. Or another way to say that is it only would have required 3 votes in support to have carried that motion. But I do appreciate you putting on the record this other issue of whether the board overstepped their legal bounds and moved into the area of micromanaging the district and crossed that firm line between governance and management.
I received a phone call yesterday and from a mother that I know in DeKalb County wanting to know what was going on. And she wanted to know if there was any validity to the fact that we're all at war with each other because people basically don't like North Atlanta. I don't want to say a jealousy thing, but I think in the end, that's all these years, nothing has changed. And I think to a large degree, our superintendent, board, I don't know, has done a lot to perpetuate that feeling that shouldn't be there. The students, when they interact with other students at schools, it's not a problem. It's from the top down, and it has not basically changed. I'm embarrassed to say, or sad to say.
But I will tell you, as a parent who's been involved in DeKalb County Schools for 10 years, and a husband who worked for the school district, I can clearly see when I see us going off the track. And one of the things I've been proud of that I didn't want to have to defend is the decision that we made. Because in DeKalb County, clearly our board members were interfering in ways that they should not have interfered. And I can see all the signs of us not focusing on the kids, but maybe focusing on making people happy, doing the political correct thing. There may be some HR issues that have to be looked at, many of those things. But I want us to be better. I want to know that the decision that we made was the right decision. And I think the problem that people sense is that we get into the protocols, and I've been on the council, I've been on the foundation, I know how you have to second things and do things of that nature. But I think when the rubber hits the road, what people want is plain talk. And they don't want to hear about all of the protocols. What they want to know is if he has your support and you really thought of how you could de-escalate the situation, not escalate it, why would we send information out? That was just a clear indication that everybody wasn't on the same page, but there doesn't seem to be any type of recognition that that could have been handled better. And what I hear a lot of is, here's the protocol. And at the end of the day, either you're for it or you're not for it.
Okay, it's not a rumor. Are there teachers under review who are going to be reassigned or dismissed who are currently employed at North Atlanta High School? It's my question.
Right. And my response to you would be, there are individuals not only at North Atlanta, but at other schools.
I'm not asking about the other schools, sir.
Right. Well, yes, to answer your question, the principals, the assistant principals at North Atlanta High School go through an evaluation process. They are teachers being evaluated. So maybe I'm not understanding.
No, I mean,
the question.
are there pending dismissals or reassignments?
Yeah, Nancy is saying she thinks she has, but I was trying to respond to ongoing evaluations that principals carry out. I think you're asking a different question that I'm not sure what you're asking.
I think the elephant in the room is we know there's an internal investigation that had taken place after last October. And what y'all want to know is where does that stand and will people do? So I spoke with the superintendent today, and the way the process works is the investigation was done with our internal team. It has been complete, he told me, so the investigation has been finalized. Whatever is in that investigation, I don't know what it is, has been sent to personnel. They are looking at that. Then it'll go to legal, and then it'll go to the superintendent. It's in personnel now. Certainly the process won't be as long as it was during the investigation, but that's at this point where it is, and hopefully it'll get moved through quickly. I spoke to him late this afternoon and asked him because I knew that would be a topic tonight. So that's where it is, and if we hear more, I'll let you know.